Hey, what is up, guys? Trainer Talk Tuesday. One of the greatest times of the year. A lot of crazy stuff going on with our families, holidays. We all stuffed in our faces and bellies, and just trying to enjoy life as much as we can, even throughout the hardship. So, first and foremost, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you. Maybe I'll get a chance to tell you Happy New Year next week, though. I got a little bit of day.
Yep.
Maybe I can tell you that next week, but definitely today. Merry Christmas first and foremost to each and every one of you out here. And we got some great tips for you today. Nothing too crazy, but just wanted to talk about some fun things that you can do or some things you can kind of be query of during this holiday season. So we did this last month for Thanksgiving, so we're doing a little bit more of the same here today for Christmas.
Now guys, we know that the holidays, Christmas, it can be a lot of fun for people, but it can also be incredibly stressful. It's not always a joyous time for everybody, so we wanted to go through these different tips for you to be aware of going into the next couple of days, starting out the remainder of this holiday season, ending it out with Christmas and New Year, just things to focus on so you can stay healthy, because this is a prime time to get sick. So we want to make sure that you guys are staying up on your wellness game and that you are doing everything that you can to make sure that you don't get sick by the end of this year or going into next year. So guys, tip number 1 is going to be all about nutrition. You know that nutrition is the most important component when it comes to your overall health and wellness. So we're going to spend some time to talk about that. Going into Christmas, guys, we know that you guys are all going to consume a lot of foods that, 1, you may not consume typically, or 2, that you don't consume in the quantities that you're going to be consuming on Christmas. So we know that, guys, we're not going to tell you to not do that. We're not going to ruin your fun or anything like that, but we do want you to be smart and to prepare for these things, knowing that you are going to indulge during the holidays. So the first thing is limit it to the actual holiday, which means you don't want to continue the party days, a week going into New Year's and then start it all over again. That is how you will get sick. And I will guarantee you that if you continue the party for weeks and you keep indulging in these highly processed, highly refined, and inflammatory foods, you are going to get sick. So guys, just limit it to the holiday itself and then wait until the new year comes to do it again. But if you know that you're going to partake in different foods and drinks, you can fast during the morning time. This is going to, 1, help your body heal, because there's a lot of healing properties to fasting, but it's also going to put you at a deficit for the day. So when you do indulge in those higher calorie foods, you're going to be able to eat those large quantities of servings, and it's not going to ruin all the progress that you've made, especially if you continue this. But you're really going to be able to meet your caloric needs for that day just in a shorter window. It's called intermittent fasting. People do it all the time. It's something that we practice every day. So this is just something that you can look into, so you're getting a higher amount of calories in a shorter period of time.
Yeah, that is a lot of turkey last month, a lot of ham this month for a lot of folks. So guys, yes, fasting, putting your body at a caloric deficit that would also allow your body to also not have as much bloat too. That's another thing that you guys can get. Not only do you just feel like losing all of my progress by eating a lot of your stuff, but that immediate bloat that you get from overeating a lot of those very inflammatory foods. So putting yourself at that caloric deficit, trying to just fast for the day, and also while you're doing that fast, I like to include this because a few clients who we work with, they are doing intermittent fasting, and one of the things that they really limit themselves on is they don't get enough water in during this time. So while you're fasting, meaning you're not consuming any food, you're not eating anything, be sure to hydrate yourself, especially if you're planning on indulging in alcohol or something later. Again, very inflammatory foods like gluten, sugars,
dairy,
caffeine, focus on there is because alcohol is going to dehydrate you more. You know, the first thing that you want to do once you consume so much alcohol is you want to drink a ton of water. That's the first thing you want to do to kind of start to get your body back to sober up. So make sure that you hydrate prior to that point as well as after that point. That way that recovery process isn't as harsh. You limit your chance for a very bad hangover. You might get one anyway, but to feel like complete shit the next day. Make sure that you hydrate, give your body all those essentials that it's going to need prior to you indulging in all those things that you don't typically have, is where we're getting here when it comes to the nutrition. Just try to limit yourself from doing too much. And when we talk about continuing the party, what we're really saying is try not to go day after day after day, if you don't understand continuing with that party, man, but day after day after day, still indulging in a lot of those same things that you did on the holiday. So stick to the holiday itself, Christmas Eve and Christmas, New Year's when that comes, we'll probably address that specifically next week. But if you're gonna do certain things on those days, try to just focus on doing them those days. Don't take a bunch of leftovers home with a bunch of stuff that's not gonna help you get to your goals, and try to prepare yourself with hydrating first and fasting second to make sure that your body is in a position to digest that food correctly and not have as bad of a negative response.
Okay, guys, and I think that's a good point. When you are fasting, you should only be drinking water, which means you're not drinking alcohol at 8 a.m. I know a lot of you guys want to do that, but save it for later in the evening. That's going to help you with just a lot of things that Nate mentioned. Now, I will say this, if you are physically or mentally unprepared to start fasting, then you need to, during that time, only eat fruits and vegetables. So this is really going to put your body in a position to balance out the food that you're going to eat later on, because you're eating the stuff that is full of the nutrients, the vitamins and minerals, everything that your body needs. You're getting that at the beginning of the day, and so when you do consume these other inflammatory foods, your body is going to kind of balance it out to a degree, because you're already getting what you need in earlier on. Now, if you are fasting, we still encourage that you eat your fruits and vegetables, so you're going to have to work that in. Do not go a whole day without eating your fruits and vegetables. You're going to be sorry, you're going to regret it if you do that and you're consuming all these foods on top of that. So make sure to get those in, whether you're fasting or not. And don't overeat, guys. So the fasting, the intermittent fasting, is going to help with that. But either way, you're going to be eating a large amount of food. We know that Nate and I are going to most likely be doing the same. So
Nothing most likely about it. I'm definitely eating a lot of food.
So, guys, don't overeat. And what we mean by that is give yourself some time. One, chew your food slowly. Don't just scarf it down and try to inhale it without even, breathing.
So I think that's
Chew
like
your
30, I think it's like 32 chews
Yeah,
per bite.
it's something like that, guys.
Crazy, unless it's mashed potatoes or applesauce or
Sit
something.
there and chew your food, guys, and then when you finish, if you are still hungry, wait about 20 minutes before you go back and get seconds, because that will really let you know if you're actually hungry or not. And then also drink water during that time frame, because you could just be dehydrated. Your body could just need water. So fill up on that. Give your brain and your stomach time to get on the same page when it comes to your hunger levels. And then again, if you're still hungry, try to gear for more of the healthier foods that are available for your second round if you are going to do a second serving.
Yep, nothing more needs to be said there. So guys, again, prepare yourselves for it, plan ahead, understand what you're going to be doing, and just make sure that you do all the things necessary before that point to make sure that you don't have as bad of a response. Because again, we don't want to tell you guys not to have fun, not to enjoy yourselves, not to indulge. I know we don't want to be the ones, when I say we, I'm talking about people who are, you're on the front lines of putting your health first, and you quick to tell folks about it, and sometimes it may come across as annoying to them. So you don't want to be that person this holiday season, or whatever the case may be. So again, just prepare yourself, just understand, and
Yeah.
just go about it the best way, so that way, not only do you have a good time, but you don't annoy anybody else.
Yeah,
You don't get annoying.
look guys, I'm going to be eating chocolate fudge, apple crisp, all that. I might just eat that. I don't know if I'll actually eat like everything else. Everything else will be in smaller form. I'm going to have sugar, okay? I'm going to have those things that I enjoy because I don't get to have them very often. So I'm going to indulge in those things. Nate and I are no different than you. He's going to be consuming alcohol. I'm sure large amounts of alcohol. He'll be pretty happy.
That didn't sound too well. She made me sound like a drunk.
Look, one of his clients, look.
She hooked me
So
up.
for Christmas, I'll let you decide. For Christmas, we have one client, Nate's client, that every day she's been bringing him like these $100 bottles of like bourbon. So she apparently thinks that that's where your priority lies. But that's all I'm going to say there. But
It's gonna be a good couple days.
we will consume these foods. Nate's gonna be drinking. That's fine to have fun, but we're also gonna make sure that we're getting our fruits and vegetables in. So that's all we're saying, guys, that we're going to balance it out and be smart about it. That way you don't get sick the next day or the next week when you're exposed to different germs and viruses, because you will be, right?
Yeah, so I guess let's bring that up real fast before we move on, because again, we're telling you guys to do this, prepare for that day. So we've already started this week. We
We're
said
already preparing.
we're forcing the kids, no more candy, no candy bars, no nothing, no chips, pretty much trying to limit their exposure to things as well, because they're going to be having a lot of those things that we don't normally give them. There's going to be more people around, even though it's just family, but we're just preparing ourselves for that situation. So we already started a couple days in advance, just really trying to get our immune systems balanced out so that when we go and we do that.
Yeah, mainly for our kids, because we eat pretty well most of the time. Mainly for our son, because Malachi, we talked about this in the last video, he likes to eat starch basically all the time, so it's a constant battle with him. So we have, started that process of he can't have anything, because we know that he's going to get these things that he really wants to have during Christmas, and we want him to enjoy them, but we don't want him to get sick. So
What did this dude eat, like 8 apples yesterday?
he ate the whole bag of apples, however many were in there now. That was his choice. We offered him other things. He wanted all apples.
I just brought the damn bag here. He ate the whole bag of apples.
So we're doing things now. We suggest that you start today as well. But getting into number 2, guys, is going to be another key factor in your overall health and wellness, and whether you get sick or not after this holiday season.
This is the biggest one, by the way, guys. Make sure you listen up. This is the biggest component, because even though this is the holiday season, I hate to cut you off, but I want to mention this to preface this next segment with, is because as joyous as this time is, as it's promoted to be, it's also one of the most lonely and saddest times of the year for a lot of people as well. So this next one is a really, really big one. So these things here, guys, we consider to be extremely important, pretty much more important than the nutritional side of things right now, just because of the stats associated with all of the things that go on with people who aren't as joyous during this time.
Guys, nutrition's a leading component, but because of today's climate, especially with COVID and everything that has brought, this is going to be huge. So it's stress. So separate and apart from the normal stress that happens during the holidays, you have the stress of what the impact of the pandemic has caused on your life, and that could be enough to push somebody over the edge. And maybe you're feeling like that right now. Maybe you're feeling like you just can't handle one more thing. Maybe you lost your job during the pandemic and you're struggling to provide for your family during this time. Guys, we get it, and that's why we want to go over these things. So the first one is to not go in debt over Christmas, okay? And that might mean that you need to lay aside your pride and not care about what other people think, but live within your means in your current budget. And that budget may look very different this year because of the circumstances. So guys, do not stress and go into debt to impress other people, okay? If you have children, they can have a great Christmas without you going overboard and completely just breaking the bank. So I want to make that clear that it is okay for you to say no. Another thing that you can do to kind of alleviate your stress is to plan ahead. So whether that's planning ahead with the planning, if you're hosting the Christmas gathering, or plan ahead with the Christmas presents. Hopefully by now you have them all together to alleviate that stress. If you are somebody who is a high stress or anxiety person, we want to encourage you to get that done now. And accept that things aren't going to go perfectly, guys. It never will. So you might burn some of the food. You might have people show up late. You might not start eating right on time, right when you want to. People may get into fights. Family members may argue when you're there. We know that this can be a tense time when families come together. It can be a great time, but it can also be stressful. So don't expect things to go perfectly, because I'm going to tell you right now, they won't. And this is a big one for me because, like a lot of you at home, I have grief around the holidays because my dad passed away many years ago, and even after all these years, that is still very much there. So even though I get to spend time with my family, my dad's not here, and that's a constant reminder of that. And I know a lot of you guys have that same feeling. A lot of you guys have lost loved ones, either through death, jail, or divorce. These things happen, and we know it can be a very sad time for you. So we want you to be real and upfront about your feelings, and talk to somebody if you need to talk to someone. Express your feelings, don't hide them. It's okay to be grieving during this time. We understand it, and we are here with you and for you. And know that traditions may change, especially if you're going through one of these things that may cause you some grieving to do. Traditions aren't going to look the same. This is something that my family personally went through a few years ago, because we did things a very specific way when my dad was here and all the kids were living in the house. But now that we're older, we all have our own families, or significant other, and my dad's not here. My mom has remarried. Things are different, so our traditions that we used to do don't look the same anymore, and change can be very difficult. And maybe this year you are experiencing that change. Maybe your Christmas this year is going to look very different than the last year's, and that might be very stressful and hard on you, but I'm telling you, it is okay. It is okay to embrace change. It is okay for things to be different, and in a lot of ways, things have to be different. So I want to just throw that out there, that if you are struggling to make things look exactly how they have in the past, it's okay to switch it up. It's okay to eat a completely different meal. It's okay to do things completely differently. It does not have to look the same as years prior for you to still have a very merry Christmas.
And I think that was very well put. I don't pretty much have anything else to add. I just want to emphasize that stress is a very, very big component. And again, when it comes to the debt situation with the stress, again, finances are all over the place for a lot of folks this year. So hopefully those folks who you may not be able to do things for that you could in the past, or the pride of some of you that like to give out things and now you can't do it to the capacity that you would like, hopefully that those folks, and hopefully that you yourself can understand that this is just a different time. This is different for everyone. So if the people that are expecting something from you, hopefully that those people understand that 2020 is just not the same. So hopefully next year can be different, but try not to hang yourself up too much on that. Let your hair down. Accept new traditions if that's what's being offered, and just try to be as joyous and enjoy it as much as you can. We all had it and been through enough this whole year. But I want to go ahead and segue into number 3, because it's going to kind of, play into number 2 as far as stress. It's going to help balance that out, and that's going to be sleep. Giving your body rest during this time of year. Again, when it comes to your stress levels, you guys are trying to do so much. You're trying to go out and figure out a way to get presents if you can. You're trying to plan some things for your family so that you guys can meet
So
and
much
coordinate all these
pressure
things.
around the holidays.
You're trying to cook food and prepare meals. So guys, wrap your presents and everything in advance. Get these things done early. Cook your food in advance. My mom has done that for years. She cooked it a night or two before. We'll warm that stuff up that day. Nobody's complaining. Most people already got alcohol in their system, so everything is tasting good around that time. Everyone is happy. So take the stress off yourself. It don't have to be perfect, like Larissa said. When it comes to stress, you guys can be putting more stress on yourself, trying to do things, last minute, or trying to be perfect and have the table set at 12 and you want everyone to be through the door, or whatever the case may be. Let your hair down. Wrap those presents early. Get everything prepared. Cook your food in advance. Get you a good night's rest every night, not just at Christmas Eve, but this whole week, like we talked about with nutrition, how we're preparing our bodies prior to the point of us enjoying the holiday and consuming and doing things that we don't do very often that's not as healthy for us. Rest your body up to that point as well, so that you're not cranky when the holiday starts. So you're not over there and you become that family member that causing the chaos. Now it's you. You're arguing with everyone. You're irritated, and it may not just be you. It's the year. It's been hard on us. We all understand, but give your body some rest. Understand that you are going to be, enjoying the holiday with some other people. Maybe some of you are going to do it virtually. I've seen people did that for Thanksgiving. So it's going to look different for a lot of us. We just want you guys to prepare and take as much stress off yourself. Give your body some rest during this time. School is out. A lot of you are getting time off work. Use that time to your advantage to recover. Allow your body to rest up, recharge those batteries. That way you feel good. You're ready to have a good time. You do that intermittent fasting and all the things that go into that, so you just feel great. You have a good holiday season, and you get something great out of this 2020. It's been so rough. I keep saying that because it's just a fact. So let's take control of it. Like, we can't control all the craziness around us, but we can control how we decide to respond to it. So the choice is up to you. Take some pressure off yourself. Let your hair down, and do the best you can, and hope to God that the people that you are celebrating with can understand that, because it's just been so hard.
And if they don't, oh well.
Shame on them.
That sounds harsh, but
shame on
they're
them
the ones
for not understanding.
they're the ones with the problem, not you. I will also say, because this is difficult for us, I would say personally, is get yourself in a mindset this year, especially if you have been hit hard financially, where you are open to receiving. And I'm going to say especially if you are the type of person who gives. Okay? Now, we're not encouraging you guys just to take, but this year is different. So if you are the type of personality who is a giver, who gives everything, would give the shirt off your back to a stranger, we know you guys, we love you guys, be in a position to receive this year. Let other people take care of you, because you have been taking care of everybody else, and it's okay for other people to look out for you sometimes. So just be open and willing to receive that this year. And I'm speaking to the moms, especially when I say take a nap. If the food's not cooked and the presents aren't wrapped up yet, but you have an opportunity to lay down, sleep. Choose to sleep instead. Everything will get done when it needs to get done. Rest when you can rest, because if you have kiddos, you know they're probably going to be up bright and early, and you don't need to be wrapping gifts at 2 o'clock in the morning just for your kids to wake you up at 4 or 5 a.m. because they're eager to open their presents.
Let me throw this out here too. I know a lot of you are super traditional. I think this matters to Larissa. It don't matter to me as much as she know what I'm about to say. Because, hey, this may just be a cultural thing as well, but I know a lot of families growing up, black families, just to say, if you ain't got time to rap, just put the shit under the tree.
I don't know, my kids,
all right?
No, it's gonna get
hey, to be honest, it's gonna take some stress off, because it's gonna be less of a mess. It's gonna be less paper and tape shredded all over the floor, and less shit for you to take out. So
see, I'm gonna meet you guys halfway, because I think that kids really enjoy the unwrapping of gifts. So I'm gonna meet you halfway and say, if you're pressed for time, put it in a bag. Tissue paper.
That's still gonna cost you some.
That's not gonna take
if
any time.
If you got a bunch of grocery bags like us stored up under the sink.
Not a bag like that, a nice bag.
I'm trying to save them money. They just told them that they're debt. Like, don't go into debt. You want them to spend.
Look, if you guys
how many damn bags is that?
If you need some bags, we can get you some bags. Okay?
I got a bunch of Walmart and Myers grocery store bags.
This dude's
Again,
too much.
they not gonna remember that shit anyway. They're gonna see that big shiny thing that is wrapped inside of it, and that's what they're gonna want. So when I came out and all that shit was powdered,
You know what you do?
I actually thought it looked better too because it just, you got all these different colors just mix, all these different things.
That's what the
It's just
wrapping
like,
paper is.
no, everything is the same.
You
It's
guys
all
could do
coordinated.
a treasure hunt or something with your kids. If you don't want to wrap it,
This
then
ain't-
hide it around the house and have them.
This ain't Easter.
Look, it doesn't matter. Okay, things can be different. We already said that. I'm trying to make it fun for the kids.
I'm trying to save them money.
We're
And stress.
doing both.
Put it under the tree. The kids won't care. Unless you got those kids that want to cook cookies for Santa and shit, and you gotta wrap the presents up because they ain't gonna let you off the hook.
That's
They
our
ain't tell-
kids.
They not baking no cookies for Santa.
They literally asked to do that. They said that he won't come. We haven't even told our kids
It's
about
gonna
Santa
get
Claus.
even more
and-
sugar, man.
And somehow they know about him. But anyway, so,
They watch all these damn movies.
alright guys, we're gonna wrap this up here. So number 4, the very last thing is stay active. Do not just sit all week long, all day long, all weekend long, whatever it looks like for you. I know a lot of you guys are out of school, you're off of work right now, and so you're gonna wanna relax, and I get that, but don't just like do nothing. So like, whatever that looks like for you and your family, go on a walk if you can go on a walk if the weather permits. I don't know, turn on some Christmas music and dance with your family, have fun, be silly, play active games like, Wii. Is that even a thing anymore? I don't know if people do that.
I think they have a Switch. I don't know. Well, I don't play video games.
Okay,
I'm
you
not a
don't know,
gamer.
but you guys know what we're talking about, those
Yeah.
active games where you can like dance or play
What's
tennis
that
or
game back in the day with all the dots and you put your body on?
Twister.
Twister, yes.
Play Twister, guys.
Yeah, dude, just
Do something
move around.
fun like that. And if you want more structure, then you can always join us for our live boot camps, guys, because they're free. They're completely free.
Don't cost a thing. All you gotta do is show up and give us A+ effort and just have your game face ready.
We actually have one tonight. Our beginners training circuit is from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here, Facebook, our business page, Never Settle Fitness. So you can join us live at that time, share with your friends and your family, stay active. We have another one Thursday that I have not talked to Nate about. It's usually 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. But I don't want to do it at that time. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah,
So we
gotta
might
come up.
change the time to earlier in the day, but we will provide it for you because I want to hang out with my family that night as well.
Hey guys, you help us decide on that because
What
we
time
haven't-
frame works
yeah.
best for you?
Maybe, I know a lot of people may not see this, but if you do see this and you make it to this part, put it in the comment section. What would be a great time? Like, would it be around the afternoon? Would you want to do it early in the morning, around like at 10 a.m., 11 a.m. maybe? The sooner the better. Like, let us know. Give us an idea. We're still trying to come to an agreement about what's the best time to do. If you don't help
This
us
will
out, we'll figure it out
only
anyway.
be for this Thursday. We'll go
Yeah.
back to normal time after that. So just this Thursday because of the holiday, let us know what time works best for you and we will take that into consideration.
Yep, so real quick as we're wrapping up, stay active, go on walks, play the board games, do something. Something's always going to be better than nothing. And if you are familiar with working out and you know how hard it is to get in shape, then that means you probably know how easy it is to get out of shape. So if you go ahead and sit these next couple days out,
Especially if you're
on
eating
top
that
of
easy.
eating a bunch of this
Yeah.
this crap and drinking, yeah, you're gonna feel like you're back in the gym from day one all over again. So if you
And you're
wanna,
gonna get sick.
yeah,
You're
if
gonna
you-
get sick.
if you want to avoid that feeling, maybe you reduce the amount of time you're working out each workout, or maybe you reduce the amount of days, but try to have some level of consistency as that time goes on. Just don't completely shut it down. And if you are completely shutting it down, then you need to monitor what you're going to be putting in. Maybe you, if you're not doing anything, you really be particular about how much you're consuming it when it comes to those inflammatory foods and alcohol, because again, you will have a real setback from having a lot of that stuff and not continuing to make your gains.
And I say this every single year, but consuming any amount of refined sugar suppresses your immune system for up to 5 hours afterwards. So your immune system is going to be suppressed during this time. Do not put yourself at a disadvantage by not fruits and veggies to help keep your immune system as strong as possible. Getting rest, keeping your stress levels as low as humanly possible. If you are under a lot of stress, practice stress management, things like prayer, meditation, that exercise that we just talked about, essential oils, whatever that looks like for you, do what you need to do to keep those stress levels low because it will suppress your immune system. Get the sleep that you need. Even if that means that you have to stay the night at wherever the party is going on at, ask if you can stay the night, especially if you're going to be consuming alcohol, guys. Do not drink and drive. Be careful about that and stay active. Just what we said, guys. That's going to help keep your immune system strong and healthy. It's going to help kind of combat some of these foods that we know that you're going to eat. So if you can do all these things and be intentional about them, then you should be in good standing going into the new year.
Yep. And there you have it. Merry Christmas and healthy holidays, guys. These are a couple of things that you can try to do just to give yourself the best overall holiday experience this year, keeping the nutrition balanced out so that you're not having too much of a setback there and you're not suppressing your immune system to the point where you are, now down with some kind of cold or something like that. Keeping your stress levels as low as possible. Try not to put too much on your plate and overwhelm yourself, feeling like you're just up to here with things to do and you just have no time to really sit down and give your body some rest, some sleep, some time to recover, recharge your battery so that not only are you just feeling better in general as overall, but you're not as irritated and irritable when you're going out and you're spending time with your family. You can feel like you're ready to have some social time, something that we all can use, especially since we can't have as much as we normally do with our work lives being changed around. And then last, stay active as much as you can. Get out, keep moving your feet. Don't sit on the couch all holiday season long. Get out there, get a walk around the block a couple times. Even if you're not going to the gym, busting ass right now, hitting the weights, get up, go for a light jog, ride a bike, do something. Walk up and down the stairs a couple times with purpose. Just do something. Don't completely just, lay in bed. Just get up, stay active, guys. So that's what we have for you today. Hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a good Christmas Eve. Hopefully you can see some of your family, even if it's virtual. Do the best you can, depending on what your guys' situation is, and enjoy yourself.
Yep, guys, we love you so much. Thank you for allowing us to continue to serve you this year, especially during these hard times. We love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. We owe you everything. And as always, never give up.
Never lose hope.
Never settle.
All right, guys. Merry Christmas to ya. Merry Christmas to ya.